Ultron has quickly become one of the best strategists to climb with in Season 2.5 of Marvel Rivals. Special shout out to Shocker for the help of making this video. He's currently a pro strategist player for Nemesis that specializes in Adam Warlock in Now Ultron. His links will all be in the description, and let's start things off with Captain America. Because Ultron doesn't generally interact with Captain America that much, the best thing you can do against him is remain vigilant of his position. This will allow you to be ready for when he dives your backline, letting you place your drone on his target of choice and give them overhealth to survive his pressure. Then, once the Cap leaves, rotate your drone and return to pressuring other targets. Rather than brute forcing your way through Strange's shield, use your superior mobility to target the backline with your ultimate from off angles. This will force the enemy Strange to make an uncomfortable decision. Either peel back and give your team a ton of space, or hold the front line and watch as his backline gets decimated by your ult. Emma's ultimate cannot pull you out of your own on Ultron. Utilize this knowledge to counter her ultimate and take back the advantage in the fight. This play is really strong and should frequently be utilized. Groot has no answer to you flying around and taking angles on his backline. Don't waste time trying to break his walls, just deal damage and eliminate his backline so that he doesn't feel safe looking for walls on your tanks. Be careful against Hulk. While he isn't going to be super consistent with it, he can exile you out of the air or even pull him down with you. He can't take you out of your ultimate, so that's when you can get really aggressive if you want. Magneto's ultimate can suck up your ultimate, but you can break the meteor pretty fast. You'll want to save your dash to dodge though, since he might try to chuck it at you afterwards. Forcing out his ult, dodging it, and then winning the fight with your own ult on Ultron is crazy value if you can do this right. Penny Parker has a ton of coverage with her nest ability this season. If your team is running divers like Black Panther and Iron Fist, it's on you to take out the nests for your team since you have the best angle in the air. The thing is a lot like Groot in the sense that he has no answer to you flying around in the air. Fly around and pressure his backline, forcing him to either give damage resistance to the backline while giving up space or die in the front line with less help from his supports. Thor's Awaken is the only thing you have to worry about against him. Once this ability is down, you can respond with pressuring his backline. Pressuring Venom before the fight starts is really impactful. This is because it makes it much harder for him to dive with an uncomfortable amount of health. On top of this, Venom can't do anything if you just toss a drone on whatever target he goes for. Starting the Duelists off, we have Black Panther. Just like every other diver on this list, sticking a drone on his target and utilizing firewalls will completely counter his kit. Keep a special lookout for when he has ult to use your firewalls even better. Black Widow gives Ultron some problems though. She can shoot you as long as you are in her line of sight, so just don't let her see you. Charge your beams from around cover and pressure her out of the fight. You don't need to eliminate the Widow, you just need to pressure her enough so that she always has to reposition. Hawkeye cannot one-shot you if you play cover and charge around corners. On top of this, if you maximize your bonus health with your firewall and dash, you have more than enough health to win the 1v1. Hela is where the problems begin to arise though, since she has a lot more options to win the duel with her stun and bird. Personally, I try to avoid the 1v1 with Hela and just instead wait until I can force out her bird to engage on her. Against Johnny, you can create a lot of pressure at him so he is forced out of the sky. You can increase your aggression against him after he uses his slam, since he won't have any other ways to sustain himself any longer. Just make sure that you keep your distance against him because you do have a pretty chunky hitbox yourself and he'll do a lot of damage to you if this is the case. Against Iron Fist, it is very important that you identify how he is playing the character. If he is flanking most fights, make sure you pressure him before he gets to your supports and drone them to keep them alive. If he is punching tanks, pressure his other DPS as they won't really have any help to duel you, leading you to win more often than not. The Iron Man matchup is heavily favored for Ultron, but there is a way that you can still lose it. That is if you get too close to him where he can hit you with his beam. That is 25 meters to be exact. Keep your range and you'll be fine. Magic's only threat to you is her uppercut combo, so just save your dash or firewall, and after that dash is gone, you'll be free to just farm for another 8 seconds. The best time to shoot Mr. Fantastic is when he is in his big mode, since he won't be able to become Rectangle Man. Outside of this niche situation, it is oftentimes better to shoot other targets since Mr. Fantastic is borderline unkillable. Moon Knight can't do anything to you in the air. If he is on your screen, pressure him out and don't be afraid to take duels when given the opportunity. Just don't play too close to walls where he can onk you. Ultron has the easiest time shooting deployables since he can be anywhere he wants to be. When Namor has his Gamma turret, it takes 2 shots to fully eliminate instead of just 1 like his other turrets. So make sure you are playing around cover when taking it out. Against his ultimate, your drone can be helpful for peeling for targets that get hit outside of the inner circle. Psylocke did just get a nerf, but she is still one of the stronger DPS into Ultron. Make sure you save cooldowns to peel for her engage and try to keep an ear out for when she goes in and out of invisibility so that you know when you are in danger. Just like Cap and Venom, drone her dive target and you should be fine. If Scarlet gets stuck to you, it is very difficult to get her off. The best way to deal with her is to find her and make her weak before she closes the distance on you. With proper preparation, this really shouldn't be that difficult. Spider-Man has gotten absolutely gutted this patch, and Ultron doesn't make it any better. Without Venom's team up, all of Spider-Man's abilities can get countered with a single drone or just a firewall. Even his ultimate gets countered with this combo. It is truly a sad day for all Spider-Man players. Squirrel Girl can't do anything to you when you are flying around in the air. She can deal a lot of damage to your team though, making it very difficult to heal them over time. The name of the game is to eliminate her before she does the same to your team. Make sure that you poke Star-Lord from range and don't get too close. His kit is one of the only ones that can outduel yours. On top of this, be careful with just ripping your ult out of nowhere since it is very easy to take you out during it. Storm typically sits in her team with bulky compositions that are hard to break. Your best bet is to take angles around the enemy's core and take advantage of her lack of mobility to poke her out from within her team. The Punisher does a solid amount of damage this season, so make sure to jiggle peek corners while also playing around your drone to win the duel. The longer you are exposed, the more likely you are to get taken out. Bucky has an easy time taking you out of the air with his red energy ball that he can throw at you. Try to poke him from outside of his hook range and save dash for when he throws the ball at you. Against Wolverine, make sure you swing corners wide instead of sharply. For Ultron, this looks like taking more open space, knowing that the enemies have one less DPS that is going to be able to pressure you out, allowing you to create value faster than the enemy Wolverine can kidnap your tanks. Just like every other hit scan duelist, cover is your best friend around Adam since he hard counters you in my opinion. If you have ult whenever he ults though, you can dash to it and immediately take down everyone when they are low HP, you just have to find him first. The best thing you can do against a dagger is force out her bubble. After that is out, she is super vulnerable. If the cloak tries to wall you mid-air, just dash around it and keep fighting. The damage really isn't all that scary. When Invisible Woman jumps, she leaves behind a little red ball that shows you where she is moving to. Use this to predict where she goes and possibly take her out with the burst after your beam charges. It is really not that hard to hit Jeff when he's in the ground. Whenever your team gets eaten, make sure that you focus down Jeff and save them before it's too late. Ultron's ultimate is also really strong against Jeff since he can't eat you out of it and you will immediately take him out when he goes in the ground. Loki runes significantly diminish your value when ulting. However, it is really easy to force these out simply by focusing him before the fight starts and then looking for an ult after. A proactive playstyle makes you much more consistent on this character. Luna Snow does insane damage to you on Ultron. While she may be a support, the new buffs make her an absolute force to be reckoned with. Unless she is low or you have ult, steer clear of her and play cover like you would any other hit scan duelist. Do not underestimate Mantis's ability to shoot you out of the sky. She has better matchups compared to most that we have talked about thus far. Rocket can keep his team alive simply by existing. Because of this, if a target is getting healed by him, make sure you take him out first. Since you can fly, this really shouldn't be a problem. Furthermore, it is not a bad idea to fly around the map and destroy his respawn beacon if the map geometry allows it to be done safely as well. And finally, against other Ultrons, the player that plays near the friendly drone that is down is the one that wins. Play smart around your utility, and even if you have worse aim, you'll simply win because you have the bigger brain. So I hope all of these tips help you out with winning more games in Ultron, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.